Hi. What's up, guys?
Welcome into
the. I think so.
All right.
I hope so.
We're live?
Oh, yeah, we're live. Yep.
Okay.
Look,
right on.
That's us.
There we go.
We're here.
This is our first time. This is the first go.
A little out of breath. So the fun part about this is going to be the random people that jump on and off.
Yeah.
So through StreamYard, we have the capability to let people into the podcast. But then we realized we'd been sitting here for
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Realized we had no way to hear anybody that jumped on the podcast. So we had to sprint, or I had to sprint to my truck to get
some
AirPods. But I think your point is correct. I'm not sure
if we could hear them through the computer or not.
Probably not, but what we could do, we're just figuring this out in real time. What we could do is connect to our phones and just have YouTube up on our phones.
Oh, yeah.
Might be delayed a little bit.
It would be old school.
Yeah, that would be very old school. It would indeed.
So who are we? What are we doing?
Yeah, so first off, someone drop a comment if you can actually hear us and see us and everything's good and everything's like, a podcast.
Right.
I don't want to just keep talking and going on and doing the thing if no one can hear us. So there we go. Let's see. What's that? Hear and see. Awesome. They're watching from the tap room, Austin.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hi there, tap room.
Okay, so every Monday from 8 to, we'll see.
8 to whenever we stop.
So for the last, year and a half or so, we've had a podcast called The Tasting Room.
Correct.
Which we shot at the old Grassfire Studios. Traditional podcast, video podcast that you can find on Spotify. You can actually find it on this YouTube page. There's most of the back episodes are on there, at least from season 2. But we're just doing something different. I enjoy live streams and watching them on YouTube and, having them up when I'm driving around. The cool thing about YouTube to me is that you can shut your phone off and still listen to it.
Right.
So you can do it while driving and do it safe. You can whatever. And so, like I said, we'll have the capability to bring people on randomly throughout the podcast. Thankfully, you have to have the link to StreamYard to jump on the podcast, and I have to bend over here and let you in.
Let you on.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and who knows what we'll talk about, who knows what we'll do. We'll sip some beers. We'll talk about this one here in just a second. You can tell behind you, I have plenty of bourbon to sip from.
Amen.
I have plenty of wine, courtesy of Eric Flanagan and Flanagan Wines behind us. I have another box in the spare bedroom, so we can just
perfect.
Yeah.
We're
whatever
set.
we want to do. Yeah. But let's just start here. You've been in that chair and at my house for a decent amount of time today.
I have.
How did the first 2 recordings of Kettle Editions go?
Yeah, so I started the first recordings of Kettle Editions, which is super cool. It came out of a brainchild of the team really kind of wanting a little bit more FaceTime and airtime with our customers and people who want to follow the brewery. But I've been in the chair for, oh goodness, a couple hours now.
Probably
more so than that.
Yeah, you and Cody. So, should I give away who? I kind of
that's
did.
All right.
Yeah,
Cody
all right. Driscoll was your first guest, who will be the second
Correct.
episode.
Yep.
So yours is going to come out every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday it'll be released, and so the first one, just a little drop,
little drop,
or what teaser?
A teaser.
Yeah. Is basically a life story of how I became a brewer.
Which I don't even know if all your employees know.
Probably,
so those of you watching in the tap room and
maybe
wherever,
not. If
you might learn a little bit.
If you're in the tap room and want to know a little bit more about my story, it's a 10-year story smashed into 30 minutes.
Can I get some comments from you guys on how Austin is as a boss? Can we play that game?
Oh my goodness. Hopefully it's super weird. That's what I would hope.
Yeah.
And then the second episode is a great example of bringing on guests that are really experts in their field, and telling the story of how we keep breweries brewing really great beer.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. The first one was.
It's kind of weird when you're just talking by yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, I was talking to the Christmas tree, which you guys can't see, but there's a Christmas tree
right here.
And I was telling my life story to a Christmas tree. And
to my silver
I was
and red
making
ornaments.
it very interesting to the Christmas tree. But no, it is really, it's kind of odd being solo in the room talking to yourself and blowing smoke to a microphone. It's kind of interesting. A little nerve-wracking at first, and then I got into the story though, and it was pretty natural. So
it's I can kind of equate it, but then not really, because there were other people. But like doing TV for a decade, like I would be standing in a studio and I would have, you know, depending on what station I was at, whether it was Bradshaw and Kristen Dickerson or Neely or whoever would be to my right, there would be a camera person supposed to be paying attention, but on their phone off to the side. And then the weatherman, Mike or Dan or whoever it was off in the weather cave. And so, I mean, we're live on air. There's people in the back in like the newsroom working on the morning show or working on whatever. And I'm just talking to a camera that represents 1.3 million households.
Is that how many
in the
people
marketplace
watched?
I mean, it's no, not at one time, but that's like the DMA, the designated market area. It's roughly like 1.5 or 1.3 million or something like that. So if every TV had on the same channel at the same time, that's how many people you would be talking to. But when I was in Dallas, it was 10 million.
Holy
something
smokes.
like that. And so, I mean, in LA, well, shoot, when I did horse racing television, that's a national. I mean, that's hundreds of millions of households.
Wow.
And so you can't
quantify.
You just can't think of it that way.
No.
Or else I don't care how good you are at talking. If you know you're talking in front of potentially tens of millions of people, you're going to freeze. Like
at some point,
yeah. It's going to get to you. So I mean, the Christmas tree represented the camera that I'm used to seeing. So you're just staring at some inanimate object that represents something else. You know, that represents the 4 listeners we're going to have on the first episode first.
Hey, but they're going to get a very in-depth look into my life as becoming a brewer. So that'll be really cool.
I just want to shout out real quick. Cloudy Quesadilla is the one that's commenting, and I don't know who that is, but I love that name.
Cloudy Quesadilla.
From the tap room.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
fantastic username or screen name or whatever you call that.
I
like Cloudy Quesadilla.
I could take a stab at it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, don't guess or offend anyone.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh, it's Mario.
Oh, it's Mario. Was
that your guess? Oh, and you didn't want to. I see where you're going there.
Yeah.
He asked what beer we have in the can, so that's a good segue.
Yeah.
To I'll just tell you. So, up until I had this beer, which will tell the origin story of this bastard child of a beer that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
We'll tell that in just a second. But before this, I think my favorite beer you had continuously on tap was the brown ale from our favorite little
white line
hole in the wall. Yeah,
it's back on.
I know, and I'm so happy. That's why I said ish. Like it's
sometimes on, sometimes not.
But then I showed up to wish you guys a happy. Do you say happy birthday or happy anniversary?
I would accept both.
Yeah, I think I said birthday, but it was your 6th anniversary.
I love that though.
Yeah,
it is kind of our birthday.
I mean, it is to an extent. And so you told me you had this porter on, and then you told me that someone effed up, and it wasn't supposed to be this. So, what was it supposed to be, and then how did you make it into what is now probably my favorite beer that you have on tap?
Oh, that's a really cool compliment, because it wasn't necessarily an F up. It was a schedule faux pas. Let's call it that.
Okay.
And so it was originally milled in for the Hollows triple.
For the triple, okay.
Yeah.
So have you gone back and made the triple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in distribution right now.
Gotcha.
But no, we had plenty of the Hollows in tanks already, and it just got milled in, and it was supposed to go into a tank, and a few of us came together and we were like, well, it wasn't supposed to go into the tank right now.
Yeah.
But we had all the malt milled, which if you mill the malt, it's
That's
20.
Try saying that 10 times fast.
If
Mill the malt.
mill the malt,
Mill the malt. Mill the malt.
It's about a 24 to 48 hour lifespan. So we had to do something with the malt. And so we came up with this recipe
It's
and
fantastic.
Brewed it the next day.
Kale Smith says it's also his favorite beer on tap right now.
Oh,
so
amen, Kale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
He ain't wrong.
How many times does something like that happen though? Where something gets effed up, or whether it's schedule, whether it's
more than you would understand.
Do you ever just dump it?
There's only been a couple of times that we've actually dumped a beer. It's mostly because of temperature, or like if
the wrong temperature.
Yeah, like if the glycol fails, or if something goes wrong, or I don't know. Normally, if something like this goes wrong, we can fix it in the moment, especially if we have a tank dedicated to what was milled in or this, that, and the other. So we can normally fix the right or fix the wrong to make it right.
Sure.
And so lo and behold, like Cancun Daydreams and Mango something, gosh, I forget all the names. We release a whole bunch of beers. If you're in the tap room, help me remember.
Mango something?
Mango Sunshine.
Mango Sunshine.
That actually was in lieu of the blackout.
Oh.
The Tulsa blackout. Because we had just knocked out.
Mario came in with it, but you got it. Yeah.
That was the Oktoberfest that we brewed the day before the blackout, or like a couple days before the blackout. And that Oktoberfest is a lager, supposed to be fermented at like 50-ish degrees. Let's call it. It got to like 90.
Whoops.
Yep. And
now is that like in cooking something where it all of a sudden like
it's like if you
got to pivot real quick?
If it's like if you wanted a rare or medium rare steak and accidentally cooked it to blackened, like beyond burnt. So we took that liquid that would be not Oktoberfest at that point in time, and then threw some fruits into it to make it a completely new beer. And thankfully the fruits actually made it and masked all the things that we didn't want in the Oktoberfest and made it a really wonderful beer. And we actually sold through all of Cancun Daydreams already, and all the mostly all of the Mango Sunshine. So, and that was some of people's probably favorite beers.
I mean, Mario said that Mango Sunshine was that he loved it. So
yeah, but that was out of a happy mistake, and we just pivoted and did something fun with it.
Do you normally do Oktoberfest or no?
Oh yeah, every year.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we and we do a fest beer style for Oktoberfest.
That's what I was going to say. Do you call it something different?
No, I mean we label it as Oktoberfest. Technically, the fest style in Germany is a style that is made for all festivals.
Gotcha.
So it is a fest beer.
And then Marzen is
technically the old school Oktoberfest style, but the fest beer style is now the Oktoberfest style.
Gotcha.
So it is deemed inside of that realm as the Oktoberfest style in Munich, but it can be used for Frühling Fest, which is Mayfest.
Oh.
And it's brewed and made for a bunch of sports events and whatnot. It's kind of like the catch-all beer over in Germany, but it's made for Oktoberfest specifically. So, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. For those of you watching right now, if you could do us a favor and subscribe to the channel and like and all that stuff, I think we're going to do a giveaway for subscribers between this show and Christmas.
Sweet.
So we'll probably pull a name.
What are we going to give away? 24th. Like used underwear or?
See, I wasn't gonna tell them that. I was just gonna get the address, and it was just gonna be in the package.
Oh, got it.
Like
sorry.
A stained pair of old boxers or something. But
whoops.
Yeah, I know. Now we're gonna have to actually.
We're gonna have to give out some actually real.
I know. No, so I'm thinking a combination of, and if the person that's name is drawn works at or for Cabin Boys, then we'll do a $50 gift card to a brewery of your choice, whether it's Heirloom or Marshall's or
wherever,
somewhere in Oklahoma City or whatever. Right?
Yeah, super fun.
And if the person's name that's drawn has their own business or does marketing or anything like that, I'll give a free consultation type thing to see if there's anything.
Would that basically be like a high five?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It would. I would look at some of their analytics and their numbers and their ROI on marketing stuff and see if basically give them a heads up that, hey, you should maybe consider doing normally something I would charge for. Basically is where that's at. I mean, we might, who knows, we might throw something else in. Our boy Max might be listening to this. He might want to throw in a 6-pack of Roadhouse or Melvin beer or something.
Cool.
So, I mean,
or it just might come in the mail and then we just say, oh, cool. This is really great beer.
Yeah. See, Kale figured it out. He said that's why Lisa asked for his address.
Yep, that's right.
Don't open it.
No.
Just throw it away. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Man, so what's going on in the audio visual world? Like
that's a loaded question.
I know. So you're in the heat of it with the movie scene, editing scene, the marketing scene. What are you seeing kind of the waves of the world changing in Tulsa specifically? Man. Because it's kind of heavy right now.
I love how much, I guess love you could say, or how much creative leeway, or I'm not sure the right term there, but the Native American community is being allowed to really showcase and flex their creative muscle quite a bit.
And it is astonishing.
Yeah. And I mean, Sterling Harjo is just doing it. I know. I mean, he's working on a new show now.
Tell me.
I don't even know if I was supposed to say that.
Oh,
I won't give any details, but everybody knew he was going to do something else after Reservation Dogs.
Sure.
So he's working on that with an actor that you would know, and it will be,
we won't name.
No, and it will be produced in a state that you know,
which we won't name.
No. And so, it's just, he's just doing it. And what he's doing for this film community, just in general, as far as putting Oklahoma on the map, I mean, and I have to be really careful right now in the things that I say, because I was just talking to my friend that runs the film commission, and I know the amount of money for rebates that we're now trying to get. And I don't want to say that number because I don't think that's public knowledge. But if that number comes to fruition, there is a rather large 3-letter movie network that you can stream on, or that you can get via streaming, that then would really consider bringing a lot of their shows and the productions to the state of Oklahoma. But if the rebate hit that number, which it will eventually.
It will, but I mean, it's so cool. It's kind of like you're on the verge of where we were as a brewery in 2017.
It's the Wild West right now, man.
So what I was referencing is you are the Wild West. We were the Wild West when we opened up our tap room, because that was literally the first time. So Heirloom and us, when we opened up, that was the first time that breweries were allowed to have tap rooms. Yeah. Did you realize that?
I did, and then I didn't. Like, I remembered hearing it, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I just you take it for granted, right? Like
now you do.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 locations that are serving beer that we made. But like for you, you are on the cusp of opening your, let's call it, tap room.
Yeah. And it's, almost weekly, I get some sort of a comment from one of my employees basically saying, like, there's no rules for this. Like, what? We're just kind of making this up as we go, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I say, yeah. Welcome. Welcome to my life. It's just. It's fun though. It's really, really cool. You know, I think one thing that, and this is where I and Grassfire Productions and, you know, where we really want to help the film community the most, is that as we continue to grow, we have to educate and provide a way to grow the, like, not database, but grow the employee base, or the, what am I trying to say? Like the amount of people that know how to do these things,
yeah,
you know, like
community
by providing education. So I'm going
Right.
to have to figure out, like, once the post-production studio is open, I'm going to have training seminars and classes that are put on by editors and colorists and audio mixers from LA and New York and
I'm looking
Chicago.
for
And
a fourth job.
well, hey,
so yeah, come
come on, man. Come on in.
I guess it'd be fifth job.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. So it's fun, man. It's you know, I don't really have the pulse of, like, from the audio video sphere of, like, new cameras and gadgets. I know everybody's messing with AI and they're a little worried about it, but also excited about it and trying to figure out how to work with it and not have it be like the monster working against you type thing. So that will be something that we just have to keep an eye on as we move forward, but it will only help.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll probably help in the brewing space too. Like, you could probably automate and
Possibly.
do a bunch of different stuff via AI that, not to say you're going to replace any of your brewers, but, like, hypothetically down the line, there could be a way in which
it would be more like algorithmically predicting, like, schedule or something on that side. But you can't, the brewers at large, it's you wouldn't be able to replace a brewer, because beer still comes from the ground. It still is
True.
raw material.
More
You
from
have to morph it into
more from the scheduling side, I think, is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Like
you have scheduling, ordering, predicting. That would
that could save you money too.
Yeah, money.
If you order wrong, I mean, that's just money, not down the drain, but, like, you have to then figure out what to do with.
I mean, if you order 10% wrong, so we're, you know, next year, 2024, we have 88 metric tons of malt contracted.
Is that going in your big silo thing?
Correct.
Outside? Yeah.
10% off.
That's a lot.
That's 22,000 pounds off, and we're small.
Yeah.
We're small.
So put that into perspective. So I've done the Coors tour in Golden, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to ask you. What I'm going to say is, like, the production you do in a calendar year.
Yep.
Guess, approximate, how long do you think it takes Coors to hit that production number?
My production number?
Yep. Like, is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a day? Like, what's
probably 15 minutes?
No, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, because I don't. I almost did. No kidding.
Probably 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe 10 minutes.
So a calendar year for you, that's just that puts it into perspective, the scope. I mean, obviously I've done the tour, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And that they're going to use AI there, because they're already, like, a lot of that is automated, because there's a big, like, control center thing.
Technically they've already used AI. If you want to define it in the terms of the true form of AI, which is what would you, automated intelligence,
artificial intelligence,
so they've already used it probably 30 years ago. And that's like going down to Excel. So if you really want to define AI as what AI is, we're just morphing into a more calculated version of AI.
Okay.
So I don't even know. I'm sure that AI would, in today's terms, would certainly help them. But they already have systems in place that are making them as efficient as possible. So they're probably looking for, if they're using that, they're using AI to go from 5% efficiency loss to 3.5% efficiency loss.
A game changer for them.
But we're talking, that's a difference between,
that's millions of dollars, probably.
No, billions. We're talking billions at that point, because, you know, they're doing 50 million barrels a year, and a 5% change is 2.5 million barrels, which is $1 billion. So,
I mean, what else can you do but laugh?
So like that in alone itself, but and it's kind of funny. I don't know. They're doing probably 10,000 bottles or cans a minute.
Are they the biggest in the country, Miller Coors? Or is AB InBev?
AB InBev.
But they don't have one. Well, I guess Miller Coors doesn't either, because Coors is Golden and Miller's in like Milwaukee or something, right?
No, Miller Coors is only in.
Is it only in Golden?
Only in Golden.
Is AB InBev in multiple?
AB InBev is in.
Or is it just in St. Louis?
Hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah. And
but as far as
if Max is listening, he probably would know that, because that's very close to his.
Well, he has the link. He can jump on. I just don't know how we would hear him. We would have to figure that out.
No, Miller Coors or Coors. Miller Coors is a big conglomerate, so that's like Miller up in Milwaukee, Coors in Golden.
So they have separate locations.
I mean, yeah,
because the Coors in Golden isn't making Miller.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I
guess
know.
they could now.
I guess they could. I don't know. The slogan, or what Coors says, is they're the largest singular brewery production in the world, or the United States, at least. So
I would imagine Guinness is pretty big.
I think Coors is only made in Coors.
Makes sense.
Or only in Golden.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else when I took that tour. There was a lot of really good, just not distillery, brewery only beer that they were pumping out.
So they have and Trout, our brewer, one of our brewers, got in contact with a brewer that is a part of Coors subsidy company. Subsidiary company.
I got you. Big word.
Thank you. In Colorado, that is kind of like their craft brewery offshoot. But it's a 30-barrel brewery that's their test batch.
Yeah.
Which is 3 times the size of ours.
It's delicious.
And
it's just down the road from the brewery.
Yeah, and they make a ton of.
There's like a Colorado Red that they do.
Amazing beers.
Yeah. So when you take the tour, they give you a token. I think I got 3. I was only supposed to get 1, but I make friends. That's what I do.
I'm sure that hurt their business.
I mean, I kind of felt bad drinking 3 beers instead of 1
for free.
Well, because you didn't pay for the tour. You just had to reserve your time.
Oh my goodness!
I know, right?
I went to Asahi in Tokyo, and they gave us 3 for free.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Coors needs to up their game.
Yeah.
But so you do the whole tour. They take you into it's just so expansive and so cool to see.
It's incredible.
You're in the command center basically, and there's computers and levers and all this stuff all around you. It's almost like you're in Star Trek or something. You're just looking, you're like, oh my God.
I've never been to Coors specifically, but I've been to some major breweries that are just like.
I want to do Guinness.
Guinness is really cool. Guinness is cool. They're whatever they call it. I can't remember what the brewery is called or whatever, but the museum.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like it's not the Golden Gate, or it's something Gates brewery, but it's basically a museum. You don't get to see the equipment. If you go on the master brewer tour, you get to go to the brewery itself.
That would be cool.
I think. And I've been on that 10 years ago before the museum, or 12 years ago or whatever, before the museum opened. And I mean, they have what we would call fooders that are like 500 barrels a piece.
That's big.
Wooden vessels that they're fermenting their beer still in. That's massive. And they have, I think, 35 of them that are still being fermented in wooden vessels.
Wow.
And I could be corrected, but that's what I saw with my eyes
Sure.
10 years ago. And it could be all like destroyed now and not used and this, that, and the other. But when I was there, it was still being in use. That's a lot of beer in wooden vessels. That's cool.
It's a lot of beer in wooden vessels. I didn't know it was aged that way.
Fermented.
Or fermented that way, not aged. I'm talking
I mean,
whiskey.
Yeah, it's not aged. It's just fermented,
right.
transferred into
I was thinking it'd be
stainless
metal or something. I wasn't thinking.
Well,
it
I
would
mean,
be...
ours is stainless,
Right.
and
Right.
that's probably 99% of the beer in the world. That's how it's done. But they're so old that they still had those.
I wonder how
use.
like the monastery breweries do it, like Chimay and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's got to be old school, right?
I mean, probably. But I've been.
Are you even allowed to go on those tours?
Yeah, I've been on them.
Oh, okay.
Not Chimay, but I've been to a few of the Trappist breweries in the Netherlands.
So like St.
Belgium.
Abbey or something, is that one of them? Or am I making that up? I might have told. No, that's in
Texas.
Houston. Yeah. I thought it was like ABBEY or something.
Maybe.
I might be totally making that up.
I went to La Trappe, which is in the Netherlands, which was the coolest tap room in the world. There was like a garden that they grew and around that they used the ingredients to go into the beer.
That's really cool.
But like for only tap room usage. And their tap room was this glass house on the monastery grounds up against the brewery. And the monks don't necessarily brew the beer, but they still quality control and select the liquid. So like they still like check it off throughout the whole entire process. They actually don't brew it, but they are still in control of everything. And I went through with the master brewer and had lunch with him and whatnot with my school, and got to sit across from him. And that conversation with him, actually, I created the recipe for the Bearded Theologian.
Nice.
In that conversation, which is our number one beer produced, and the Hollows Triple. In that conversation, and so long-winded answer. You can still go on those tours.
That was a really long-winded answer. I forgot what the question was. I was just listening. But it was super magical. It was the coolest brewery I've ever been to. Yeah.
Period. Like it was amazing.
How's the prepping for baby going?
So, yeah, good. This last weekend, we turned our house completely upside down. We took couches from.
Didn't you just do that with the renovations not too long ago?
Well, the renovations were like painting, ceiling,
kitchen stuff,
renovation,
right?
Kitchen stuff. That was pre-baby,
right? Yeah.
And then this weekend we took our whole entire couch system in our movie room downstairs. We're unfortunately, as parents, sacrificing movie room, moving it downstairs. We're gonna completely do new carpet upstairs because the baby has to crawl.
Sure.
Stuff. Our carpet is terrible.
I haven't seen carpet in so long.
Well,
because my old house, which I don't know if did you ever come to my old house when I was over there on 15th
yes.
in between?
Yeah.
So that was hardwood. This one's all hardwood. I
Yep.
haven't seen carpet in a minute.
Yeah. Well, we have carpet upstairs.
Okay.
Not in every part of our house.
Yeah.
So it's going really well. My father-in-law and I built a wardrobe from 1:30 to 10:30 p.m. because it's IKEA.
Oh, is that the one you crammed into the car?
Yeah. So
how many leftover bolts and nuts and screws did you have?
In between the two of us, we've built a lot of things. We got it all together.
Okay.
No pieces left over.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Because IKEA doesn't want you to succeed.
Well, I mean, that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
But we succeeded. We got the doors to correctly slide on their sliders.
That is
like
impressive.
We did it. We did the whole thing, and the drawers all work.
Now, is that baby wardrobe or is that?
That's my wardrobe.
Okay.
Because my closet is too small to be a closet, so we bought this to be a closet.
Gotcha.
That was all in retrospect to a response to the baby moving in, being born, being born.
You have a new tenant moving in about 4 months or 3 months.
Because that whole room, like that closet, and oh my goodness, it's just a whole ordeal. But it's going good.
Okay.
It's going really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Any fun cravings to talk
From
about?
Lisa?
Yeah.
You know, not
because we talked about this last week. I wondered if anything had changed.
Not any,
but we didn't talk about it on the podcast. We talked about it afterwards.
Yeah, not any fun things.
Okay.
I was wanting to,
pickles and ice cream or something.
Yeah, I wanted to taste all these weird things that people were talking about, and no, no real cravings that I could see. So, or experience, just aversions.
Yeah, that was an interesting when you said that. That was an interesting thing. Yeah.
Aversions to chicken, unfried chicken, I should say.
I mean, if we're being honest, fried chicken is the best chicken.
It is. It is the best chicken. So at least
not the healthiest, but it's the best chicken.
Not the healthiest, but at least I can enjoy that.
Yeah. Now, is the aversion there if it's something other than rotisserie? Like if it's breaded and baked but not fried?
Well, I don't think that we've tried that
yet.
Okay. I think that.
See, I'm looking for the healthy side for you.
Right.
Like, could you do that?
Probably not.
But at this point, who's caring about health?
About
healthy food, because you're feeding two. So
yeah. Probably not. She loves sugar right now. Sugar, which she's never craved in her life.
She likes sour right now?
No.
Okay.
The pickle thing.
I was going to send you home with some freeze-dried sour sugar balls that I don't know what trip I was on the other night, but I ordered DoorDash and I ordered chocolate-covered pretzels and freeze-dried sour Skittle things. Don't know why. I think I actually needed milk, but I had to build the cart to get to like where it was.
Oh, till
the Dash Pass would kick in thing. Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, let's see what else is on there. Yeah. I'm like, oh, pretzels, sure. And then freeze-dried sour Skittle-y things. I'll just try them. I mean, I can go grab them if you want.
No.
Like it's right there.
No.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah. They're not bad, but they're just not. I'm not a sugar guy necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Lisa might like them.
That's what I was asking. Like, do you want to take them home?
Yeah, maybe after. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
We'll do that.
I'll take them.
Cool.
See if she eats them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna grab them.
Right on. While he grabs them, I'll just sit here and bob ahead a little bit. So, okay. I mean,
thankfully my kitchen's right there. So they're sour Friedels. I'm sorry. Because you couldn't call them Skittles.
Oh, yeah. You can't.
Yeah. When we have the second camera up here in a little bit, you'll be able to see these a little closer. So, but they're actually not. My disappointment, though, is they're not sour. Like I was expecting them to be like if you call something sour.
Like make it sour.
Right. I mean, it has like a tinge of sour. But it's really just like
crunchy.
Yeah, it's like freeze-dried sugar, basically.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa will be all over those.
Cool. Take them.
That'll be empty by tomorrow.
That's my baby gift.
Thank you. So you've restructured your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this because we've restructured our whole entire business.
You know some whiskey while we're talking to?
Yeah.
It's already 8:40.
Dang.
Yeah.
How do you shut down your year? How do you prepare? How do you prepare for the next year as a business owner and operator of a successful business and because people are like, oh yeah, I'm shutting down my year, I'm gearing down and slowing down, and this, that, and the other. But really what that means is you're gearing up for January,
Yeah,
February,
100%.
March.
100%.
What does that look like for you?
So for us, it's a really interesting thing. The back half of Q4, people really stop spending money.
Well, we feel that.
Yeah. And I don't know.
In a
I'm just referring to my industry. It might also be applicable to yours.
It kind of is. We get like this influx in the tap room and influx in the brewery and this, that, and the other or the brew pub, because of holiday spending and groups coming in and this, that, and the other. And that's a big swing.
Yeah.
Distribution definitely tails off by January. Big time.
And so really what we, and the reason for that is it's around that time, early to mid Q4, when you start planning your budget for Q1 of next year.
Right.
And so it's almost not even a thing we can control. It just happens to us. Like if I couldn't see, right? If I was blind and had no idea what the calendar said, I couldn't look at a calendar, couldn't look at my phone, couldn't look at anything to see what date it was. I would know based on the conversations I was having with people that, oh, we must be in like around Thanksgiving to it starts about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. When people you start hearing that, let's just circle back in January at the beginning of Q1 and we'll get that taken care of. And I'm like, okay, well, you're leaving me a month and a half here where I'm trying to get something coming in,
I'm trying to wrap up this year.
Yeah. So really, I mean, the way I view it as a business owner, and I'm sure you do the same way, like if we're as good as we were this year, next year, then that's a problem. We need to be better. And you can take that in a bunch of different ways and they're all applicable and they all work and it's all important. Like from a structural standpoint, as far as our processes and our organizational just capabilities and, employees and bringing on the right people to help, push things along. And that's the scariest part to me is there's an adage that I try to go by, which is slow to hire, quick to fire. And it sounds like a kind of a jerk thing.
No.
But like the slow to hire part makes perfect sense if you think about it, right?
Right.
You want to make sure that it's not too slow where like they go somewhere else, but slow enough where you can vet them and you can make sure that it's the right fit and that they're culturally aligned with what you have going on.
Yep.
But then where I struggle the most is the quick to fire part because I love giving people benefit of the doubt. I love trying to like teach and help and mold and grow people.
It's a huge part of our business.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes you just have to say, hey, look, I love you, but this isn't working.
Right.
Like for your sake and mine, like you're going to be happier somewhere else because you're going to find something where your boss isn't on you constantly, not necessarily trying to get you to change your stripes. Cause that's been one of my biggest, like if I can be introspective, that's been one of my biggest struggles is I get in my own way a lot.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is like, and I'm not patting myself on the back or anything like that, but I'm really good at learning quickly, adapting, moving. I'm a very big ready, shoot, aim guy.
Yep.
And so I would rather try to do something. And if it doesn't work, recalibrate and try again.
Right.
Then wait for the perfect shot, wait for the perfect shot, wait for the perfect shot, which you're a hunter. You're probably wait for the perfect shot, wait for the perfect shot.
Maybe only in that scenario.
Fair. And so, but what I've found this year was a year of growth for me as a boss in that regard, because I consciously realized and saw that I was projecting that onto employees.
Right.
Because I expected to hire someone for a certain role, but if I needed to throw them a curveball and say, hey, wear this hat, not the hat you were hired to wear to help me get through this season of whatever's happening, right? I just expected them to be able to do it. Yeah.
Right.
And do it successfully and do it because I can do it.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And I came to that realization, thankfully, but like, that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not fair. It's not.
And that's the toughest thing is like letting someone go means that you're
almost admitting failure,
your own failure.
Yeah. Yeah, not theirs.
Your own failure.
Theirs too, but also your own.
Your own, but also knowing like, hey, this needs to be an opportunity to find yourself in a role that you're going to actually succeed better. That is the toughest realization of like, hey, you were good now, kind of, but not what would work today. And I think that you're going to succeed somewhere different. And that's the hardest thing to convey.
It is. Yeah.
Hardest thing to convey.
And the other thing I'm struggling with, if I'm just being totally vulnerable, and what I'm looking to improve internally with myself in 2024 is that I know where we're headed as a company.
Right.
Right. I know we're going to get there. I know it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to sell it for multi-million dollars and live happily ever after. I'm going to manifest that, right? It's going to happen.
Right.
But I don't know how I'm going to get there. And I've got to be okay with that.
It's going to be a whole bunch of branches that
100%. It already has been. Yeah. It already has been. And not that I'm a control freak necessarily, but I like to control what I can control. And I feel like my business should be something I can control. And it's not.
It's tough.
It's not. I mean, there is aspects of it that you can control: who you hire, who you fire, the culture you build, this, that, the other. But there's a lot of it that is at the whim of society and
economics.
Luck and like world happenings. And
I mean, we're, as a brewery, we're influenced by the war in Ukraine.
I think that's half of why people aren't spending money right now is what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening with the economy and the calendar. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is a world away, and we're so desensitized to what is shown in front of us rather than what is going on 4,000 miles away.
Sure.
And we're so tied to it, and we're not we're so localized and can't break away from our local community and realize that, I mean, the two wars that are happening right now are a big deal. Now, I'm not going to get into like super politics, though we might get into politics at some point in this podcast.
I'm sure we will. Hopefully. I mean, I'm sure Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell will jump on. Yeah. I'm sure, we can, we can,
but
we'll delve because as this goes on, I mean, we're technically in political season right now. 2024 November elections coming up. Like,
time.
DeSantis and Gavin Newsom had a debate 2 days ago or 3 days ago or something like that. So I mean, we're in it.
We're in it. But yeah, it's
I think I would like to be president one day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just I'd throwing that out there.
I'd get on your campaign.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do.
I don't either. But
I might clap in the background, like,
hey, having a hype man is very important. No, but I feel like, and here's why I say that, right? I actually think I could do it, and I think I could do it relatively well. But let me explain why. I don't think it'll ever.
Are you willing for them to comb through your life?
I don't have anything to hide.
Okay, there you go. You've got 2 dogs,
and they're sleeping right now. They're being really good. I wish you guys could see it. When we get at that second camera, I'll just have a dog cam.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what it'll be. No, but I think what needs to happen now, I don't know if this will happen. It probably never will, whatever, but I would love to be the one, or love to just see it happen in my lifetime, whether I'm the one that does it or not. Right. Yeah. And I say I want to be president. I've never done anything political. And that's why I think I might be great at it, because I'm not influenced. But I think there needs to be the same ticket, right? Needs to have a president and a vice president that are opposing political parties.
Okay.
I think that's the ticket. I think that's how you bridge this stupid
gap that
forgetting you're an American and thinking you're a Republican and a Democrat or an independent or a Green Party or this or that. We're all
so
effing
divided.
Americans. Okay. Like that's my whole platform is uniting the United States again or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it's, but like, I feel like there's enough commonality between us as Americans if we put all the, pardon my French, bullshit out of the way,
Right.
that like you can come to agreements on things even if you're on opposite sides of the aisle.
So you heard it here, 2028.
Oh,
John
no.
Moss.
This is like 2038 maybe.
Oh, 2038.
Yeah.
John Moss for president, uniting America again.
So when I was at Channel 8, I didn't realize these things existed in Tulsa, but I had basically like super PACs, but Tulsa version, like come up to me at events and pull me aside and ask me if I would run for office, and they would back me and like get me into office if I
Holy
wanted
smokes.
to run. Yeah. Like it's been a thing. Like people have tried in the past to get me to run.
And 10 years ago, you were like,
I was like, I'll pass. Yeah. I mean, but it's, I make friends easily. It's, I can talk to people.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't do the State of the Union address.
You would have to if you were the president.
Nope.
I don't know if you could get out of it.
You know what I would do?
What would
release a video.
Could I be on the podcast?
Sure. Which is at this time, this is 2038, man.
Yeah,
why are we
right.
doing what we were doing back in 1800s? Like, I don't have to stand in front of all these people and have half the room stand and half the room boo and have to like, no. I'm going to bring back the fireside chats. We're going to have podcasts. And for the State of the Union, I'll maybe Elon will be like my Secretary of Commerce, and I'll release my State of the Union on X. 80. Yeah. Right. No, I don't know if I would ever do that. And I don't think anyone would ever elect me. But I do think there needs to be, in all seriousness, like a multi-party ticket. Like
It
I
has
think
to be a coalition of minds that brings this whole map of America together.
Yeah, which I changed the angle of the tripod, so now you guys can't see. Last week you were able to see the photo or the artwork and the map, but you can't now.
Oh, bummer.
How do you like the whiskey?
I like the whiskey a lot.
So this is from Missouri. This is Missouri straight bourbon whiskey.
I was just drinking the beer that I didn't finish earlier ago.
Yeah.
Missouri straight bourbon whiskey.
I need to try to get one of my buddies.
What does straight mean? Do you know what straight bourbon means?
Not blended.
Not blended.
Pulled that out of my what, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Not blended.
Sounds right, doesn't it? I mean, because
it sounds right.
I don't think anything.
The only reason I ask is because I'm not a blender.
Okay, do you see the gold? Can you reach it? I don't know if you can. The gold, it's like in this first-ish second row, right behind the Woodworks one. The gold wax.
Oh,
it's a Barrel King one from also up in Missouri. That's in Bourbon, Missouri. Oh, now you're going to be out of focus and everything. I should have just gotten up and grabbed it. All right. So this I know is a blend because Barrel King blends. Nope, I'm wrong. It's a straight bourbon whiskey.
Okay. So it's not, that just means it's not blended.
But I thought that was a blend. Hold that thought.
We're fact checking.
What does straight? I feel really like I have so much bourbon to not know. Straight whiskey is whiskey that is distilled from a fermented cereal grain mash to a concentration not exceeding 80% alcohol by volume. What?
So it's just a recipe deal? So it's kind of basically called.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Never mind. So straight bourbon is quite obviously bourbon. However, to bear the designation straight, it must be aged a minimum of 2 years and meet all other legal requirements of the spirit.
Okay. If you were listening, you could have commented and helped us.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would have been cool.
We have a few people listening.
Right on.
2. It's okay. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. So I guess if you're hearing this, if you're one of the 2, well, I'm one of them. So I guess it's just one. Or you might be the other. It might just be us.
Yeah.
we're going to repost this as a podcast on Tuesday morning.
Yes.
So every Monday night from 8 to probably 9-ish, we'll do a live stream, have guests on, talk to you guys. We'll play games. We'll just do all sorts of different stuff. And then we'll repurpose that Tuesday into a podcast.
Yep.
Then Wednesday will be Kettle Editions.
And then hopefully.
Yeah, starting. So I don't remember if it'll be this week or next week. We'll have the kind of the debut episode trailer behind, like, heart of the podcast for one called Choose, Sip, Repeat from Christina Winkle. And then she's going to start posting and like doing her stuff January.
I'm excited
of 2024.
to listen to her podcast.
That's going to be really good.
She's going to be
She's
really
got
cool
that
to listen
like
to.
audio book voice going.
I know. She's got this really, really soft, really nice
And it sounds
voice.
better than that.
I know. Well, of course, I'm trying to do it with my voice.
It's my boy Trey's birthday, Christina's husband.
Today?
Yep.
It's Jonathan Trout's
Happy birthday, Trey and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Cheers
today.
to you.
Yeah.
Cheers to you. Hey, don't leave me. Cheers to you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're okay. So what else? We got a few minutes. What do we want to touch on? Oh, I thought I was going to die this morning.
How so?
So I've started doing cold plunges.
Okay, so this is something I actually researched very recently.
Great health benefits.
Okay, explain to me, because you've lost weight.
Yeah.
What
I do?
What goes into the cold plunge? Because I've
you mean from like a health benefit standpoint?
Yeah.
So I will.
No, you don't have to go into the deep dive into the medical things of it, but like I've listened to Joe Rogan talk about cold plunges for ages now. What goes into it?
So it is, I'm seeing if I can, is there a way to do this? How do I, copy link, boom. All right. So for those of you that go back and watch this, I just posted a link to a video in the chat because I am technologically savvy like that.
Noise.
So Gary Brecka, you know that guy? You know that name? So he's the guy, and I forget what company he runs, but he has a podcast, and I'm trying to remember what it's called as well, and I can't off the top of my head. Hold on, because he's the guy. So he owns this company, right? And Dana White reached out to him. The Ultimate Human is what it's called.
Okay.
His podcast, you should check it out. It's really good. So anyway, so Dana White reaches out to him and says, hey, like, so what Gary's background was, and this is a long-winded answer of cold plunges, but it gets there. He used to be a life insurance like guy, and they have all of these algorithms and all of these things where they put in, like, they run your tests, right? They run your blood test before you get life insurance. Well, they don't necessarily tell you the results. All of them.
They should.
But they don't. Not all of them. Because they run these tests. And this is what he was saying. They have these programs and run these tests, and they know, like, Gary was the one running the test, but he wasn't legally allowed to tell the patient or the customer what was wrong. Like, he could see these things, but he couldn't say, hey, you have this. If you do this, you'll live longer. Go ahead.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
But I got relicensed as a life insurance
and
health insurance agent.
Right.
You should give that information to
you can give the information, but you can't give advice.
No, you can't.
Is what he was saying.
You can't give
advice. Yeah.
No.
So you get the test results back.
Yeah.
Like you get the results.
Yes.
But
correct.
Gary would, like, so in this machine thing, he would put in, well, what if I gave them this and it lowered their this, and then their life expectancy would go up 20, 30 years. But he couldn't tell them that because he was working on the life insurance side, right?
Right.
And so then he started this whole other company, and I forget the name of it. We'll have to do some research on him. And I mean, you'll see it. And so Dana White reached out to him and said, hey, like, can we run some tests? And like, I just want to see how I'm doing. Like, I don't feel great.
Right.
Like, I'm stressed out. I'm bloated. I'm this, I'm that. Like, can we just run some tests? And Gary said, yeah, I don't really do that anymore, but for you, I will. Well, he got a call, and this is all on podcasts and stuff. You can listen to it, but he got a call 1:30 in the morning from the company that does the test, like the lab. And he only gets calls if it's like a life-threatening like deal.
Thing.
Yeah. And so he got a call and said, hey, we had a ping, like a life-threatening ping for one of the test things you sent in. And he was like, who's it for? And they said, Dana White. And he was like, holy shit, okay. And so next he books a flight at like 1:30 in the morning, the next morning, to fly out to Vegas. And so part of the deal, I mean, like, so his life expectancy at that time, I think, was 10.3 years.
Whoa.
From like that moment, like any point within now and the next 10.3 years, he could just fall over and die. Like some of his numbers were like 800 times higher than they should have been, and just all this different stuff. Right. And so one of the things that Gary put him on, I mean, he was doing all this different stuff, right? It's not necessarily drugs, but it's
right.
He runs this company. You pay like $400 or $500, and they run these tests on you, and they figure out like there can be imbalances within your body that are really the culprit, and not like you can treat the symptoms, but if you don't treat the imbalance, whatever that may be. And you can tell I've only watched like 2 podcasts because I'm not giving too many details right now.
Yeah. Sure.
So anyway,
I mean,
long
we're
story
not
short,
medical advice people.
Do not take medical advice from me. Take it from Gary Brecka. But and he'll even tell you he's not a doctor. But so his big thing now is, or not now, but he's big on the proponents of what cold immersion does to you. You can start in the shower, whatever that is. I have a thing out back. I fill it up with what this time of year is the best time to do it, because you can just fill it up the night before, let it get cold overnight,
and plunge in.
Go out in the morning. This morning it was 48 degrees. Man,
that's rough.
It hurt.
That's rough.
Physically hurt. Like, thought I might pass out. Hurt. Like, it was. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But what it does is, like, your body goes into I'm about to die mode. Is basically the layman's way of describing it, right? And so your blood vessels contract real tight and then open up, like when you warm up, and so it's a workout for your cardiovascular system, basically all your veins and all your stuff, because people don't realize this, but your veins are muscles.
Yeah.
Right. And so to contract and then expand and contract and expand, like without having a heart attack or something, like it's a good thing, right? And so it like forces your liver to secrete certain things that is good for your body. It this thing called brown fat, which attacks other fat or something. There's just all these different, like, there's a dopamine rush. There's just mood and energy. And I mean, it's equivalent to like 10 cups of coffee.
Doing it in the morning. Yeah. You're going to wake up.
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 6:45, and I think I was in the tub by 7.
You woke up. Yeah.
I mean, I walked outside and it was 36 degrees and the water was 48, and I'm like, fuck all this. Like, what am I doing to my life right now? But so I try to do, I think the goal that you want to hit, you only want to do it from 3 to 6 minutes. Like, that's the maximum amount of time, because your body thinks it's dying, and you could get hypothermia if you stay there for too much longer.
3 minutes is a long time.
It's a real long time.
40 degrees.
It's a real long time. And sub 50 degrees. I mean, that hurts just as much. Yeah. Like when I stood up this morning and I was wiping so I stood up, stepped out of the thing, grabbed my towel, was wiping myself off. I couldn't feel. Like, I was numb. as I was wiping myself off. I was like, what? It's like, I can't feel any of this. It was crazy. Yeah,
That's intense.
It was intense. It was intense. So I do that 11 minutes a week, 3 days a week. I try to go 3.5, 4, but I've only been doing 3. So this week it's going to have to be 3, 3, 5. That 5's going to hurt. That 5's going to hurt. So I do that 3 days a week. And then 3 days a week, I go to Hotworks gym and do the opposite spectrum. So I do a
infrared
15 to 20 minute cycling or rowing or something class in a 125 to 130 degree infrared sauna after doing some weights. And so just sweat it all out. And
dang.
Yeah. So
that's intense.
Cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot.
That's intense.
Watch what I eat a little bit. But yeah, this morning, it was the roughest one I've ever done this morning. And I don't know why. I mean, the water was probably, it had been getting to like 51, 52, which is cold. It's cold.
That's cold.
But when those 4 degrees, when it got down to 48, 49 today,
tough.
It made the difference. Whatever the difference was, it made it.
It made it.
Yeah, it was rough. Rough.
Man.
Because you don't you don't want to breathe.
Yeah, how do you breathe?
It's a challenge because all that wants to do is suck the air out of you. And so like you have to force yourself to breathe, which then kind of makes you lightheaded. And then it's the cold, and you're just like,
should you do this with a partner?
Probably.
So you don't pass out.
Probably. But I'm smart enough where like if I feel like I've never actually thought I was going to pass out. The only time I actually got a little was like I was out and in the kitchen and I was just in the process of warming up, and in that moment like you're thawing out and it's just like yeah, you're kind of like whoa hey
whoa.
No, but I I think I told you so, like in the 3 minutes, and I'm probably not getting the best benefit from it. I mean, I'm getting a benefit from it because it's more than most people do, but like I have to take it in like almost minute increments where it's like I'm up to my waist for a minute and then I dip down to like just below my nipples for a minute, and then I dip down to my neck for a minute. Because at that temperature, if I went all the way in and just sat there for 3 minutes, I don't know. I might need to call you and have you come over
and drag you
Wednesday
out.
morning to like make sure I don't pass out. We should actually do that as a video.
That'd be cool.
And just do it as like a short and put it up on like a Thursday or something, because nothing's going up on Thursdays on the podcast network. Yeah.
Do a cold plunge shoot.
We should do that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in.
All right.
I'm in.
So come over Wednesday morning. We'll shoot it and we'll post it Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good.
Doesn't sound good. No.
Does not sound good.
So the key is wear a swimsuit, bring a towel.
Yeah.
Warm clothes, like bring sweatpants and a sweatshirt or something.
Yeah.
And as soon as I have towels. You don't have to bring a towel. But as soon as you get out, like dry off, put on warm clothes. And then I come inside and I do like jumping jacks and push-ups and like high knees and like mountain climbers, and I just try to get the blood flowing so they help with the warm-up process. Yeah.
Vascular veins.
Dude. Like it was just so weird this morning, and it had to just be that 4 to 5 degree difference. But like, and I don't know if this means my circulation sucks, but I think it just means the water's cold. But like I felt my legs dying, like just
that's intense.
Disappearing. I'm like, what do I do?
So intense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, it was something. But we can wrap up at any point now.
Yep. I guess we can.
Yeah.
I'm one thing that I'm passionate about, not cold plunging.
Well, Wednesday's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I've been hunting.
Yes, you were supposed to bring me venison tonight.
I was.
You will.
I will.
Yeah.
I will bring you venison.
As soon as we leave, you can go get it, bring it back tonight, or you can bring it back tomorrow, you can bring it back whenever.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I've been hunting.
How's that going?
pretty cool.
Bow or rifle?
What both?
Okay.
This year is the first year that I when I did it, I'm found like I mentally figured it out that it was the first time that I had taken a deer with a rifle
Really?
in 6 years.
Only bow?
So the last 5 years, I've taken deer with bows or crossbows or this, that,
Okay.
and the other.
Crossbows are kind of cheating, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean
we
when I
could-
say that. Like
I
it's
could-
not, but like you don't have to draw it back. You can just
Right.
like point. Tink.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can. There can be haters out there. There can be lovers out there. Like, but it got me into the
Sure. And I'm not
bow
I'm not
hunt.
shitting on it. Like
No,
it's-
no.
But yeah.
It got me into the bow hunting
Mhm.
because I had never taken a deer with an arrow before, and bow hunting, like bow hunt or crossbow hunters, like say bolts and this, that, and the other.
Mhm.
But like, it's still an arrow with a broadhead and this, that, and the other. And so I took a couple deer with a crossbow, and then I just skipped to the hardest and went traditional bow and recurve.
So hard.
Yeah,
But I love it.
yeah, and it was cool because like
That's how I would prefer to hunt.
yeah. So I hunt it, but it takes a lot of practice.
Patience.
A lot of practice, and
Strength.
a lot of yeah, strength is one part, but a lot of practice, lots of practice. And so I took 3 deer in the last 3 years with a recurve.
No kidding. Took
Yeah.
you that long.
Yeah, well, I mean, you sit for a long time and see a whole lot of deer not in range, and then finally one comes in range and you take it, and it's a big celebration. It's really cool. It's the first time I took a deer with a recurve and it was a doe, which is not a trophy deer or
Right.
anything like that.
Right.
But it was the same kind of adrenaline rush as I got when I took my first deer when I was 11.
Mm.
It was cool because it was such a connection to the
Yeah.
animal. And I'm, whatever anybody says about taking deer or harvesting animals, it was a primal
Sure.
reaction. It was really cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you. And I don't know if I'm in the minority, the majority, or somewhere in the middle. I hate killing animals.
That's fine. That's okay.
There's a butt coming up. Like I hate killing
that's fine.
animals because I love animals.
I love animals
Right.
too.
But I'm okay with it and I support it if you do it correctly.
Sure.
Meaning you're killing it for sustenance. Like
Mhm.
you're killing it and you're going to process it and eat it, and it's going to provide nutrition for your family, and it's going to do this and that and the other. The people that kill something and then just send it off and get it mounted and whatever, I'm just like
for a trophy.
what are we doing? Like what
Yeah.
are we doing?
There's,
I get it, it's a cool deer, like you killed it, cool, but like
there's nothing to that.
yeah,
If you're not gonna eat the meat, like
yeah,
I'm a meat eater.
me too. I would love to be on the carnivore diet. I just can't afford it.
That's how I kind of do afford it.
By killing animals.
By
yeah.
killing deer. And I, for my wife, I say harvest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds much.
Harvesting deers.
Yeah.
Or any kind of large game. But it's really awesome. It's really cool.
Have you harvested like an elk or a bison or anything bigger?
I would love to.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Bison would be wild.
Yeah,
that would be a
that'd be a
very
rush. Try doing that with a recurve.
Whoa.
It would have to be the perfect shot.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
And those those tags are rare.
Sure.
Rare.
Sure.
But anyways, I mean, taking a bow or taking a large game with a bow is a rush in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I haven't taken an elk. I haven't taken moose. I haven't anything other than whitetail. I haven't taken. I mean, obviously small game and whatnot.
Rogan's a big elk guy.
Yeah, I'd love to take elk. That'd be really cool.
I was thinking Prudence was going to make her debut tonight, but she didn't. She just laid right back down.
She just laid down.
She was nesting over there.
Yeah,
that's.
I
want to go harvest an elk and a deer and whatever, just so I can have the meat in my freezer.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
the meat is awesome.
But the last time I went hunting, I almost shot my uncle.
That's a problem.
So
that's a problem.
I'll just wait for my friends to go harvest.
You could come with me sometime and I could teach you how to not shoot someone.
No, it wasn't. It was technically his fault, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But also mine. So I was probably like 5th grade, 6th grade, maybe. We were in Arkansas, and he wanted to make sure I could aim and fire, right? Sure. So he hands me a rifle. Don't remember what it was. And he walks down probably about 50 yards-ish. And he told me when he left, he was like, okay, I'm going to replace the target on the hay bale down there. And then when you see the target and you're ready, aim, fire. I was like, yes, sir. Okay. He didn't step 3 feet from that hay bale when I was ready, aim, fire. Like I was, and I hit it.
I'm glad that you did.
Me too. Uncle Mark, R.I.P. if I didn't, but he's still alive and kicking. Yeah, but I'm not like, I've never seen that man more upset. I mean, we left. He was like, we're not, get back in the truck. Like, we're going home. Like, you said shoot when I was ready. The target was there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Young John was a little hard-headed, I guess. Yeah.
So, cold plunges, your deal.
Yes.
Harvesting deal. Deer, my deal.
I'll go hunting with you.
That'd be cool.
When are you going next?
Ooh, it'd probably be January.
Okay. What do I have to do?
Just sit with me in a stand.
I mean, like, do I need to get, like, I don't have a gun.
No, you just.
Or a bow.
Oh, are you actually wanting to?
That's what I meant. Like, do you want me to just go and hang? Or do you want me to, like, okay.
Go and hang.
Yeah.
I'll take the deer.
Yep.
You just come and hang. Mainly because, like, you've never done it before.
Yeah.
You just come and see it happen.
Cool. I would do that.
That's the greatest learning experience.
Where do you go?
My parents' property.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have camo for me, or do I need to get camo?
Yeah, just wear something really warm and dark colored.
Cool.
Camo is very overrated.
But then you see the cool camo.
The cool camo is cool.
Like I was looking at
I have the cool.
There's
camo.
An Instagram feed I was looking at today. I don't remember who it was, but they were showing just like how good camo could be. And this homeboy was standing up in a stand with his bow drawn, and his camo matched that tree so well that the only thing you could really see was the bow.
Yeah,
I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah,
but what deer's gonna be like?
Oh, no, it is incredible. But when you realize that the deer can only see the color blue, everything is just a blob.
So don't wear blue.
Don't wear blue.
Or if you wear blue, does it blend into everything else they're seeing?
No.
Because they only see blue.
They only see blue, so that would stand out.
Gotcha. What if you have blue eyes?
I mean, that's a really
just like
small thing.
Did you see, is random, but it kind of not, because I was going to say floating eyes. Like it would just be like there's these 2 blue orbs, like whatever. China unveiled their transparency cloak. Dude.
As in like an invisibility cloak?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Whoa.
I'll show you when we sign off here in a minute.
Whoa.
It's trippy. It's trippy. Yeah.
But no, like sitting up in a tree with deer, like
How high up are you?
15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
15 feet. That's all you need.
Can you
And-
shoot deer from blinds?
On the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit harder.
Because
yeah,
you don't have
can.
the angle. You got to like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's harder to see them because you're not like if you're on a blind, you're looking through the grass and through the trees rather than above the trees and down on it. So there's definite vantage points of sitting up in a tree. But going back on the camo, like the camo industry definitely wants you to believe that like that's super important. And it is. But like,
sorry, Mossy Oak, I just ruined your.
But what you're wearing right now would certainly work.
This is kind of close to blue.
I mean, maybe not the hat.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I mean, it's lilac or it's purple, but it's pretty close to blue.
Yeah. That would stand out. Yeah. Just trade it with orange because deer see orange as brown. So
they do see other colors, but they just don't distinguish them as much as
they see brown, black, and white and gray.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So wear green.
Wear green. That's all you need.
Done. Done. We want to sign off?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So this will be up tomorrow as a podcast. Kettle editions on Wednesday. Not sure if we're going to have chew, sip, repeat on Friday, but then we'll be back. Will we be back Monday?
We'll be back Monday, I think.
When do you leave?
The next day. We'll see with Lisa.
Oh, yeah. I thought today was the 5th. Today's the 4th. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll be back next week live, probably 8 to 9. What would we do? Yeah, 9:20.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then we'll try to get a guest on next week. We'll have to figure out the AirPod thing.
Yeah.
Which we should probably do right now. Let's sign off and figure that out.
Right on.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Love you guys. See you next week.
See ya.